Let's rip the mask off right now. You're lying to yourself. Every day, every quiet moment when you tell yourself you've got it figured out, that you're good enough, that the world bends to your delusions, you're sinking deeper into a pit you dug with your own hands. Does that burn? It should. Because Fyodor Dostoevsky, that Russian titan who stared into the abyss of the human soul, saw right through you over a century ago. He wrote it in The Brothers Karamazov, and it's a blade to your throat. Above all, don't lie to yourself. The man who lies to himself and listens to his own lie comes to a point that he cannot distinguish the truth within him or around him, and so loses all respect for himself and for others. And having no respect, he ceases to love. You hear that? It's not some dusty moral sermon. It's a warning carved in blood about what happens when you let the lies fester. And you've been letting them fester, haven't you? This isn't about petty white lies or faking a smile to get through the day. No, Dostoevsky's dragging you into the deep end. Self-deception, the kind that warps your mind, twists your reality, and leaves you blind to who you even are. You think you're in control, but you're a puppet dancing on strings you tied yourself. You tell yourself you're strong, but you flinch at shadows. You say you're honest, but you dodge the mirror. You say you are going to start going to the gym tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes. You swear you're a leader, but you're just playing a part. Hollow, fragile, waiting to crack. And the worst part, you know it. Somewhere beneath the noise, you feel the rot creeping in. Let's cut deeper. When you lie to yourself, you don't just betray your own mind. You torch the bridge to everyone around you. Respect isn't a gift, it's a currency. And you're bankrupt the second you stop seeing straight. You can't honor someone else's worth when you've buried your own under a pile of delusions. So what happens? You manipulate, you exploit. You twist every relationship into a game of survival because that's all you've got left. A shell of a person grasping at shadows. People see it. They smell the weakness. They'll nod and smile while quietly sharpening the knife, waiting for the moment you're too lost in your own lies to notice the stab. And inside, it's worse. You're not just confused, you're unmoored. Self-deception doesn't blur the edges, it obliterates the map. Who are you when you can't tell truth from the stories you've fed yourself? A ghost drifting through a life you don't even recognize. No anchor, no purpose, just a fog of anxiety and despair choking out every spark of clarity. Self-respect? Gone. It's built on honesty, on knowing your own bones, and you've traded that for a house of cards. One gust, one hard truth you can't dodge, and it all collapses. You felt it, haven't you? That moment when the lie slips, and you're staring at nothing. But here's where Dostoevsky twists the knife. Without respect, you can't love. Not yourself, not anyone. Love isn't some fluffy sentiment. It's raw, it's vulnerable, it's a collision of real souls. You can't fake that. You can't build it on quicksand. When you're tangled in your own deceit, you're a locked door. No one gets in and you can't get out. A life without love isn't just empty. It's a void. No meaning, no fire, just a cold echo of what could have been. That's the price. That's what you're gambling with every time you whisper, "I'm fine," and know it's a lie. Dostoevsky didn't pull this out of thin air. He lived it. Financial ruin, jail, exile, the edge of a firing squad. He wrestled with God, with doubt, with the chaos of his own mind. And he came out with scars that scream truth. The Brothers Karamazov isn't a story. It's a mirror. Ivan, Dmitri, Alyosha. Three brothers tearing at the seams of faith, passion, and reason, all tripping over their own lies until the wreckage reveals what's real. Ivan's grand rebellion against God? A lie he tells himself to dodge the guilt. Dmitri's wild hunger? A mask for a soul he won't face. Alyosha's quiet piety? Even he's tempted to flinch from the brutal honesty faith demands. They fall, they bleed, they learn, or they don't. And you're no different. Now let's bring this to the edge of power. You want to lead? You think you've got what it takes? Then stop lying to yourself. because a leader who's blind to their own cracks is a house waiting to burn. Self-deception doesn't just shrink you, it cripples your authority. If you don't know who you are, not what you do, not your title, but the marrow of your being, how can you stand tall? You'll either puff up with arrogance, strutting like some alpha clown who thinks the world owes them a throne, or you'll shrink, second-guessing, trembling at every shadow, too scared to step into the fire. Either way, you're a fraud. The braggart alienates everyone worth a damn. The coward never rises. Both are dead ends. Look around. How many leaders have you seen strut into the room, chest out, voice loud, only to crumble when the mask slips? They overestimate, overpromise, overreach, because they've lied to themselves about what they can carry. Or the quiet ones, the ones who hesitate, who dodge the hard calls because they've convinced themselves they're not enough. Both are slaves to the same poison, a warped lens on reality. You can't lead from a lie. You can't inspire, you can't command, you can't endure. Your impact, your legacy, dies the moment you stop seeing true. And it's not just you. Zoom out. Societies rot on this same disease. History's a graveyard of empires and movements that choked on their own delusions. Kings who thought they were gods. Revolutions that swore they'd save the world, all crashing when the lies ran dry. Today, same game, new stage. Misinformation floods your screen, trust bleeds out, and the truth's a ghost in the machine. It's easy, too easy, to swallow the comforting lie, to nod along with the crowd. But Dostoevsky's screaming from the past, that's how you fall. That's how everything falls. So what's the way out? Brutal, unflinching honesty. Not the polite kind, the kind that cuts. You've got to face the ugliness, your flaws, your limits, the parts of you you'd rather bury. It's not comfortable. It's not safe. It's a fistfight with your own shadow, and most of you won't dare step into the ring. But if you do, if you claw your way to the truth, you'll find something solid. A foundation. Self-awareness isn't a buzzword. It's the bedrock of everything that matters. Know yourself, and you'll know your strength. Lie to yourself, and you'll never know anything. This isn't theory, it's survival. Modern psychology backs it up. Self-awareness fuels emotional intelligence, and without it, you're a puppet to your own distortions. You'll overestimate and push people away, or underestimate and let them walk over you. Either way, your relationships, your power, crumble. And in leadership, that's fatal. You can't guide anyone if you're lost. You can't build trust if you're a stranger to yourself. You can't wield authority if you're a house divided. Let's get darker. Self-deception's a silent killer. It doesn't shout, it whispers. It tells you you're invincible until the cliff's edge. It convinces you you're worthless until you stop fighting. It's the voice that says this is fine while the flames lick your heels. And the longer you listen, the harder it is to hear anything else. You've seen it. People who drift through life, hollowed out, wondering why nothing sticks. That's the end game. That's where the lies lead. But here's the flip. Truth is a weapon. Not the shiny, noble kind. The jagged, heavy kind you swing with both hands. It's unpredictable. It's dangerous. It'll scare you as much as it frees you. Because once you stop lying, you can't hide. You'll see the cracks in your armor, the gaps in your dreams, the faces of the people you've let down. And you'll have to act. No more excuses. No more illusions. Just you and the raw edge of what's real. That's where power lives. Not in the lie, but in the fight to face it. Dostoevsky knew this. He didn't just write about it, he bled it. His life was a storm of doubt and redemption, and he came out with a truth most of us run from. You're only as strong as your honesty. The Brothers Karamazov isn't a book, it's a reckoning. Every character's a warning, every page a challenge. Ivan's intellect collapses under his own cynicism. Dmitri's passion drowns in his denial. Alyosha's faith wavers but holds. because he dares to look. What about you? Will you look? So here's the question, the one you don't want to face. Are you ready to stop lying? Not to the world, not to your boss, not to your friends, to yourself. Because if you're not, you're already sinking. You're already losing respect, love, power, everything you claim to want. Leadership isn't a title. It's a war with your own soul, and you're losing ground every second you dodge the truth. Think about it. Who commands more respect? The one who fakes it till they break, or the one who stands raw and real, flaws and all? You know the answer. You've always known. This is the abyss Dostoevsky drags you to. It's not safe. It's not pretty. It's a tightrope over chaos, and every step's a choice. Lie and fall, or face it and rise. True strength isn't loud. It's quiet. It's steady. It's the fire that burns when the lies are ash. You want to lead? You want to matter? Then stop running. Stare into the mirror. Swing the blade of truth and let it cut deep. Because the second you do, you'll feel it. The weight lifting, the fog clearing, the power that comes from knowing exactly who you are. If you've made it this far, you're not here by accident. Something in you hungers for this. For the real, for the raw, for the edge. So prove it. Subscribe now, because knowledge isn't just power. It's the spark that lights the flame. Hit the bell. Don't miss what's coming. And in the comments, write this: truth is my weapon. That's how I'll know you're here, part of this community of brave souls, ready to step into the authentic version you were meant to be. The truth's waiting. It's time to claim it.